Hello and welcome to our channel. My name is Jamie and today we are going to be doing a video on how we make our version of Oporto's burgers. So to make our Oporto sauce, we use a whole lemon rind, which I already had from my freezer that I've popped into the base of this, half an onion, it was a large onion, or you could use one small, 5 cloves of garlic. I have 2 chilies. These ones are quite spicy, but we do like the spicy sauce. So I added a teaspoon of dried chili flakes, 2 teaspoons of salt, a tablespoon of lemon juice and a tablespoon of lime juice. I also used dried lemongrass, which was 1 teaspoon. And I did a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, but you could also use white pepper, 4 tablespoons of olive oil, for this batch I do have already canned processed peppers, so I have used a cup's worth. You can use fresh capsicum as well if you happen to have it at home. For the color of this sauce I generally would use a yellow or an orange, but whatever you have would still work. And then we had a 1.5 cups of, I had cherry tomatoes, so that's what I used. If you're going for the lighter colors, that gives you more of that authentic look. Then I would pop this in my oven at 180 for roughly around 40 minutes. For our chicken, I like to tenderize it first by making a buttermilk. So for each cup of milk, I would use a tablespoon of vinegar to create this. I stir it all together to get it combined well, and then I start dicing up my chicken and slicing it. I've got 2 versions of the chicken I'm doing. One's more for the patty style, and then the other one's for just as chicken bites. So once I have all of my chicken prepared, I leave it in that buttermilk for probably like 15 to 20 minutes or so before I start to coat them. That allows the proteins in the chicken to break down and tenderize it more, but it also helps the chicken maintain its moisture so it doesn't dry out when you're cooking it. Is what it looks like after it comes out of the roasting stage, so I let that cool down fully before I put it through the blender. I've prepared our buns, so we just toast them up with some butter and olive oil, and that gets them nice and crispy. And when you go to put it through the like emulsion blender, I tend to add, just depending on the acidity of the tomatoes, I add citric acid. So this was probably about 1/2 teaspoon of citric acid to get more of that tang flavor, but I wait to do it till the end of cooking to see how much it might need, rather than adding it in beforehand. Just through the cooking process sometimes it can change the flavor profile, so I like to wait till the end. And so here I just pop it in the jar. We had some that we would have left over to use for the week, and then some for our burgers. For the coating for the chicken, I have plain flour, onion, garlic, salt, pepper, a little bit of paprika. Coat them and lightly shallow fry, and this is what they look like. Here I'm adding our lemon herb mayo, which is just a regular mayo that we have. Thin it out with a little bit of lemon juice. You could add lemon rind to it as well, some parsley, onion powder, garlic, a little bit of pepper, and that's it. I don't worry too much with adding more salt because all the other ingredients already have the salt in them. Our version of Oporto's. Here in Tasmania we actually don't have an Oporto's for us to go to, so I've been mucking around with a few recipes for the last few years and I've come up with a version that seems to work pretty close, or as close as we can get it, to the actual original Oporto's. So that's the chicken and the sauce. So I have an example here. This is the one that I've made in the video, but I also wanted to show you what the other version looks like color wise. This one's more similar to what the original one looks like from the store. So in order to get this color, I would change up the tomatoes that we would use. They're more the golden yellow style tomatoes, and I would use more of the orange and yellow capsicums rather than like going for a red style, which will make it a little bit darker. So you can see this one here is a little bit darker, and that's also because this had more of a char from the roasting process. So if you didn't want it quite as dark, what you could do is just cover that up when you're cooking it, and that will help keep it a little bit lighter. But I kind of like the flavor profile of this, but both versions are great. So if you're a lover of Oporto sauce, please let me know what you think if you give this recipe a try. Bye.